Would you like to learn why I just bought $5,000 of ALTSZN and why I believe this is the next Ethereum? Presently, we have got one of the best meme coins that has just been launched. It's not even a week old and it is already showing signs of an elite meme coin. And this is the reason why I just bought $5,000 worth of ALTSZN. Now, let me just make sure that everything is fine and everything is working okay before I carry on, because it looks as if on my side things look a little bit odd. No, things are fine. So, I just bought $5,000 of ALTSZN because I truly believe this meme coin is extra special. The reason why it's extra special is because it essentially owns the altcoin narrative. Now, there is only one coin that is not an altcoin, and that is Bitcoin. And that means all 70 million of all the altcoins that exist, which are obviously a mix of meme coins, AI coins, DPIN, RWA, privacy, all of the rest of them, right? Layer 1s, layer 2s. You know the DeFi, you know the picture, right? Every single crypto narrative and every single altcoin ultimately feeds in to ALTSZN. And therefore, ALTSZN is essentially like owning Total 3, right? So Total 3 is basically all altcoins, right? And that's why I believe that betting on altcoins is the same as betting on ALTSZN. So if you are bearish on altcoins, if you are bullish on altcoins, then essentially ALTSZN is your bag. And this is why essentially all of crypto YouTube that are supporting ALTSZN and hopefully the emergence of ALTSZN as we have trended higher, trended into less fearful times, that basically ALTSZN is going to be the narrative moving forward, right? Whether we have any type of narrative, whether AI coins go up, DPIN coins go up, privacy or DeFi coins go up, essentially ALTSZN always has relevance in all of those particular scenarios. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Suppoman, your superhero of 100 to 1000x gems, and I, since 2017, have found the best multiplying cryptocurrencies on crypto YouTube, of which there are 5 1000x pluses. So if you love content like this, make sure you smash a like on this video immediately. And make sure that you hype it up. I'm not sure if you can hype up live videos, but if you see that hype button, make sure you press it. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. So where we are right now is we are in an actual lackluster altcoin season, in the respect that pretty much all altcoins are down right now. And this is an indication why ALTSZN is perfect to buy. Now, before I go any further, as usual, nothing I say is to be construed as financial advice. Crypto is largely unregulated and high risk, and people who invest should be prepared to lose all their money. And everything I say to you in this video is for informational and educational purposes only. So essentially, I believe that buying ALTSZN before an ALTSZN is absolutely the most optimal thing to do. Because when this all returns, then ALTSZN is going to be a massive trending narrative. And the thing is that even on days like this, ALTSZN is even more a meme coin, right? So at times when it's bearish, it becomes even more a meme coin because people believe we are far away from ALTSZN, therefore giving it relevance right now anyway, right? But as soon as market flips bullish, then essentially ALTSZN is even more strong a narrative, okay? Now, let me just show you something which is spectacular, right? Now, previously, actually over a week ago, you had ALTSZN popularized really by Alex Becker, but you also saw all of the big accounts talking about it. All of the main crypto YouTubers say ALTSZN in their tweets or ALTSZN in their videos. And a week ago, if you searched ALTSZN, you would find Alex Becker tweets. And he has basically hundreds of thousands of people seeing ALTSZN as a term. And he's using it here in a derogatory way. Finally found the gift to express how much fun I've been I've had holding alts the last year, alt season, and then you've got someone, I believe, drinking cyanide or something remarkably toxic, right? So Alex Becker essentially owned alt season up until a week ago, and now if you search alt season, all you see is alt season the coin. So you've got gem detector here, and you've got various different accounts that are tweeting alt season, both the alt season SZN and alt season the actual word. And alt season as an actual word, if you can see this properly, alt season as an actual word, back in 2025, last year, this was August 2025, you can see alt season had 100% relevance, and before 2025, alt season was barely, it wasn't even a meme, it wasn't really a term, it was a term because you looked at the likes of Blockchain Center and looked at the alt season index, but it wasn't something that was highly searchable until last year. And as you can see, the relevance of it last year was astronomically high. And this because this was the last time we had any kind of green season or greed season, right? And as a result, alt season now is one of the key terms in cryptocurrency. And as I said, all of the main people use it. But if you look on X, basically all you see right now is you largely see that it is the alt season community's tweets that come up. And that leads to fantastic visibility of alt season the coin, because you have got the dollar on alt season, and if you click into it, then basically it will give you the if you click into it on the mobile version anyway, it's obviously not doing it for me right now, but if you click on it, then what happens is that it gives you the actual cash tag. Right? It gives you the cash tag. It shows you how much it is. That means that alt season, that the dollar alt season owns the narrative on crypto Twitter, which is where alt season was born out of. Right? So now you have got the community that are dominating. Right? So that means that when Alex Becker talks about alt season and makes the keyword popular, and it's not just Alex Becker, it is all YouTubers, okay? So let me just show you, basically the cast of alt season. So the cast of alt season are everybody who shills altcoins, basically anybody who wants altcoins to succeed versus Bitcoin. And you can see the roll call right here. You've got BitBoy, Elio, you've got Murad, Carl the Moon, Crypto, Altcoin Daily, Joe Parry's, Win All Day, and there are many other altcoin shillers, basically. And me, obviously, being the original altcoin shiller. Now, alt season is not just owning the keyword, but it's also the quality of the meme token itself. So anybody who goes and searches the alt season token, when they go to the website, this is what they will see. And it just looks unbelievable. Let me just show you. If you haven't already seen it, it's alt season! And it is just absolutely perfect for that alt season degen energy, right? So it's not just a case that the keyword is owned, but that you've actually got a first-class, outstanding website that goes with it. And not only does it look fantastic, expresses all the memeability of it, with its alt season, with Chad as the main character. But what you've got is also an interactive website as well that is fun to actually go on, and you can play games on it. Now, I could actually play Street Fighter 2. I'm not going to play it right now because I'd be playing it on a keyboard and I don't think I would be very good at it. But you could actually play Street Fighter, which is fun. If you click on Centipede, you will see what you saw in my video on Tuesday, which is basically Chad getting a centipede, stamping on it, and then he turns into Guile. And look, you can see this is the most perfect of meme coins, because look, you have got alt season presented here with all other famous memes. Okay, so you've got Pengu, you've got This Is Fine, you have got Pepe, you've got Bored Ape there, you've got Popcat as well. right? So you can see ALTSZN as a meme mascot juxtaposed against all the other meme mascots. And you can see this is memorable. Okay, actually, can you see it properly right there? No, not really. There you can. Right? So look, you can see that Chad is the perfect meme face for ALTSZN. Largely because he looks like Alex Becker, and Alex Becker has got that ALTSZN energy anyway, right? So you can see that this is absolute perfection in terms of meme presentation. Then as you go down, you see just more fun elements of the website. So right here you can see a game of Tekken, which is where you've got Paul. If you've ever played Tekken, Tekken 2, Tekken 3, Paul looks like Chad, looks like the ALTSZN mascot. He's fighting Kumar, who is the bear, essentially, in Tekken. It's just a fantastic touch. If you can click on all of these different elements, and it will bring something up, and it will just make it more fun to interact with. This is, I would say, in the top 1% of meme coin websites, because most meme coin websites absolutely suck. Right? Now, let me just turn the sound off, just in case this is slightly overpowering. Yeah, okay, let me just go off the website, actually. So, with ALTSZN, which is basically a completely unadulterated, well-known name in cryptocurrency, well-known term, purely crypto-orientated, right? Let's have a look and see what ALTSZN is competing with. And let's just see how any of the altcoins that exist, or any of the meme coins that exist, actually say what it is. First of all, it's simple to understand, requires no education, just on the name alone. Let's have a look. Scam Altman makes no sense. Basically, Elon Musk put a tweet out saying Scam Altman. Somebody made a meme term out of it. It made a huge multiplier, as you can see, but it's going to last literally less than a week. And it's going to be gone. It's going to be dead because it's got no long-term narrative attached to it. Dancing Squirrel, no one's heard of it. No one knows about it. Like, it's a pile of crap. What is that? It's rubbish. Donald, there's Trump coin already. Who needs this? LC Shib, doesn't matter at all. Stockman, Scamman, Henry, Ncoin. There's only a few actually on here that would appeal to mainstream people. Like maxing, because maxing is a very hip term right now. But most of these other terms make zero sense. And look, even MAGA has come down dramatically because it's basically a pile of crap, right? Any retailer coming into this is going to think, they're just going to look at it and they're going to think, make aliens great again. Doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't have any crypto association. Doesn't have any mainstream association. It's just some random crap, right? So this is already coming down because it's a pile of junk. Mascots, Bernie. Bull is probably the only competitor, but I've seen tons of these, and this isn't going to last either. Unk is probably fairly well known. Asteroid's already on the come down because it was popularized by Elon Musk. The ETH meme, the ETH narrative is coming down dramatically already. So is the value here. And all you can see when you look at pretty much every single name here is just a bunch of unknown terms, right? That no one really understands. Right? And that's why memecoin has already, ALTSZN already has a humongous advantage over all of the competition. Right? So, here we go. The ALTSZN bull case. Okay, so first of all, strong narrative edge, which I've already said. ALTSZN, most repeated phrase in crypto, and as you saw from Google Trends, only since 2025 has it been a searchable term. So that means from 2025 and onwards, this is going to be the most popularized way of being able to refer to the altcoin market, which previously Ethereum was the indicator of the altcoin market. That's why I believe this is the next Ethereum, because people, they look at how Ethereum is doing to get a read on, are people jumping into altcoins right now, right? But ALTSZN, because it is the opposite of Bitcoin season, this essentially becomes the de facto indicator of altcoins. So it's got a very strong narrative edge. Everyone understands it, and it's evergreen. Okay, it's completely evergreen. It's always going to be relevant. It's always going to be known. literally everybody in crypto, if you ask them the question, what is alt season, they'll be able to tell you, right? So it is literally as simple as that. But if you look at this, no, not this, if you look at this, the difference between July 2025 and now is how we refer to alt season, right? How we referred to it back then, and the reason why this trended so high back then, is because we were actually in a version of an alt season. You know, this was the time when Doge came out, so there was quite a lot of greed in the market. But people were looking at alt season as a search term. They weren't looking at alt season as a meme. Where alt season now has its strongest positioning is as a meme, right? Because, you know, during bearish times, people are just awaiting alt season. Right? So it's evergreen either way, right? Secondly, it is very, very shareable because it's easy to say, easy to meme, easy to understand, works in whatever context you talk about it, right? It works whether you're talking about the market being negative and wanting it wanting altcoin season as a cape, or when the market is extremely bullish and you are looking at it as, right, it's alt season. Alt season is the ultimate meme that accompanies an alt season going on in the market. Okay, it's got organic exposure daily from the big influencers, right? So it creates a marketing machine that is for free for alt season. That's why it makes such an incredible case, because the alt season team themselves and the community don't have to work as hard as you see with a lot of other meme coins. So with a lot of other meme coins, basically the team have to be working all the time. Like, they have to be trying to make the narrative relevant all the time. They are essentially competing with all of the meme coins that exist right now all the time, right? So it's highly competitive, highly strenuous, and that's what leads to burnout and why most altcoins, or most meme coins fail, right? But in this case, right, there's always free marketing happening outside of the community. There's always giving relevance to the keyword of alt season. Alt season is said repeatedly and ad nauseum on crypto Twitter anyway, right? But alt season as a meme just makes sense, because when people will see alt season trending on Dex Screener and they have visibility of it, and now it's on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, so they will have the ability to be able to look at it and it will be trending during alt season, then that means that the pivot from knowing about alt season to investing in alt season is very, very easy. It's very, very effortless. 3, there is already fantastic early adoption. So we have got obviously me that's talking about it. Joe Parry's is in alt season. Gem Detector, who has got quite a few X followers. We've got Win All Day as well. And there have been another one, I want to say, can't remember his name exactly. I know it begins with a H on X. And I see that he has been making a lot of tweets as well about alt season. And basically, the cumulative effect at such an early stage is already broadcasting the name out. So, you've got a lot of crypto YouTubers that have very small followings that, you know, try and get a meme coin name out there, try to get it attention. And it just doesn't last because they don't have necessarily the amount of followers. It doesn't have the ripple effect in the market because not many people are going to know about it firsthand to be able to tell other people, right? Whereas, you know, with these big accounts, you know, Jay Parry's has 500,000 subscribers. And although right now he hasn't made a video on it, you know, he is going to be at some point. Hardy, that's it. Hardy is the other person. I think there is another one as well. So you can already see community building is happening in the very early stages in just 1 week. Now, in terms of the tokenomics, again, no dilution versus all of the hyped altcoins that exist. The hyped layer ones, you know, the big names that promised so much so early. Optimism, Arbitrum, Monad, Berachain, Story Chain, whatever, right? You got all of these big new layer ones, right? Or layer twos as well, that came out to billions of dollars of market cap, that came out with a very, very small supply, and now they are constantly diluting, throwing tokens into circulation, and ebbing away at the value, right? And that's what's destroying the altcoin market. That's why alt season makes even more sense, because the altcoin market is destroyed, right? What we are seeing right now is we are seeing an altcoin market where, as an altcoin founder, team, or community, you have now got to be saying, why should you buy our coin, right? It's not a case that you've got natural euphoria, natural bull seasons anymore. Ever since 2013, 2017, 2021, those days are over. There's now 70 million coins. There's not 3,000 coins, or like in 2021, there were 20,000. No, I think there were like 12,000 coins in 2021. No, you have got 70 million coins now. And so you have got to market more than ever, right? And you've got to have tokenomics that suit the retail investor, where they are not going to have the value in whatever they buy diluted over time. So the circulation is fantastic. No unlocks. In fact, as I said, the team are going to be using their allocation for staking, for buying backs. So by the staking, it's not going to be your traditional staking, because that's too much like a normal altcoin, and it is boring, and you have to do all sorts of things, lock it up into a smart contract and all of this. Basically, what this is going to be is a rewards mechanism, as I spoke in the last video. And this rewards mechanism is just going to make it basically easier and give more sense to holding, right? It's going to, the longer you hold, the more tokens that you get for free, all right? And so what this creates over time, by burns, by giving tokens to people that hold it, is it's going to increase the scarcity of the token. So at this point, very early on, what you have got is you've got all the tokens in circulation, and it's newly out, right? But over time, there's going to be a scarcity created where the supply is going to be essentially, it's going to be completely utilized to the point that it therefore creates a scarcity for free tokens, circulating tokens. As I said, no explanation needed. Anybody coming into the market will understand the term alt season. Anybody new will instantly see somebody's video or see somebody's tweet, and they will know the difference between a Bitcoin season and an altcoin season. So newbies get it. Obviously, people very established get it. So you are capturing both markets. There is no slippage. So maximum effectiveness on onboarding and adoption, right? So unlike your technological coins, your utility coins, where you need to really use them, and I mean base blockchain and the base token, I mean, the people are, this is touted as like one of the big emerging blockchains, and no one's using it. No one's using it because to use it actually takes effort, takes knowledge, and you could lose your tokens if you don't use it properly, right? So therefore, adoption is slow and it's minimal effectiveness. And that's why alt season contrasts against it quite dramatically and in the best possible way. Massive market opportunity. So basically, you know, if you've got any kind of brain, that you're never going to get rich off Bitcoin. Bear with me 1 second. Let me just share this over to the good people of the Xverse, because I've just realized I haven't yet done that. So, I see Elio is also presently live. No doubt talking about something no one really cares about. Right now, anyway. Elio, get on board. Stop talking about stocks and stuff. No one cares. So here we go. Done and posted. Yes. I think. Is it posted? I don't know. My phone's gone all weird on me. So basically, most people that come into cryptocurrency are not chasing Bitcoin. Okay, they may have heard about Bitcoin, like everybody's heard about Bitcoin, but they're going to see a price of 70,000 plus, and over time it will be six figures, and people are going to know they're not going to get rich off that. So basically, the money making opportunity is in altcoins. So alt season, again, it captures all the people who are going to be going into altcoins, which is the new retail investors. They're going to be coming in. They're going to be speculating on altcoins. And alt season is going to make absolute sense because it captures basically the movement of altcoins, right? And it captures the movement of the market when altcoins are doing well versus Bitcoin. It's a first mover advantage, as I've just shown you on X, right? So on X, I've just shown you how alt season has now, basically the key word is being dominated by the alt season community, mixed in with the big KOLs that also say alt season. So this got that first mover advantage. There is no other alt season token out there, and basically anybody who searches up alt season are only going to see this coin. So it makes 1000% sense that this is the first mover and it's got that advantage, right? You only need to be first. A lot of people have tried to create the Safe Moon, another Safe Moon, another SPX, SPX 2.0, another Bonk, another Whiff. You know, they do like, what is it they do? They do like Baby Doge, Baby Whiff, Baby Pepe, and all these derivatives, right? Because they're all trying to gain some market share from the main first mover. And so by alt season being the first mover, now all the derivatives are only going to give more value to the first mover, right? And so that makes it very, very strong as a meme coin also. Next, we have got a self-reinforcing growth loop, okay? And this has already started going into motion, okay? So first of all, people talk about alt season. They then buy it, price goes up, more people notice it, and then more people talk about it. They buy alt season, price goes up. So basically, this is just a repeatable loop, okay? A loop that feeds, causes buys, and therefore causes growth, more buys, more growth, more buys, and it just keeps going up and up. And particularly, the damage will be done during an alt season itself. Because, like it says on the front of the packet, alt season, right? So alt season's greatest craze and hysteria will happen during an alt season. And again, it's aligned with retail. And that's the most important thing, because what makes the market move is new retail investors. I remember in 2021 being in the gym and hearing people talking about SafeMoon. Right? Now, I just thought that was crazy. Right? That you had regular people. I'd been in crypto 5 years at that point, and I knew about all of the main coins, you know, the Solanas, the Ethereum, BNB, and all that lot, right? And then you had some people talking about crypto, but they were talking about SafeMoon. And I just thought to myself, this is just showing a crazy appetite for these, you know, these insane, hyped, viral stories, okay? So SafeMoon had this exact same reinforcing growth loop. Now, what they also had, which alt season is going to have in the future, is they also had basically additions all the time. They were adding milestones all the time. They were adding, you know, wallet, game, listings, various different products, right? They were adding all the time to the SafeMoon ecosystem. And that just made the self-reinforcing growth loop expand and go even more viral. Okay, at this point for alt season, it's still very early days. Remember, we are only on day 5. I want to say day 5 or no, it's day 6. We're only on day 6 of alt season, right? So this reinforcing growth loop, we're in the very early stages. It's like a snowball, right? At first, it takes a while to grow, but then it grows tremendously as soon as it starts to gain momentum. So at this point, you can see that it's just got incredible high upside potential from where it is. Fun, viral, and memeable, community driven. It's not a VC play, it's marketing to the everyday person. And that is the greatest way of growth. Because as soon as you've got entities, big money entities coming into a coin, that's the end of the coin. Because they try and control all the supply, they kick out all the weak hands, right? And that is what you want to avoid when you get into these big coins, and that's why these big coins struggle, ultimately. Other than Bitcoin, Bitcoin's been, I mean, obviously you could say it's struggling right now, but other than Bitcoin, you know, most of the coins that have retail come in, basically they destroy it, right? Look at all the big coins right now. I mean, they are all pretty much dead, all right? Like, all that really matters right now is probably Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. And all the rest of them are dead. No one cares about any of these big coins. Right? The retail investors that are probably established, you know, not your newbies, because your newbies aren't going to be looking at these coins, right? But certainly the people who are established crypto investors, they're going to be searching YouTube. They're going to be searching for Sui, for Hedera, for Avalanche, for Chainlink, Cardano, and all of these have had some form of institutional adoption. And once they get that institutional adoption, basically that's where the retail investor gets wrecked. Okay? And that's not what you've got with ALTSZN. All right? So it's for the people, by the people, and basically the people will get rich and VCs are out. They're not in it. So when ALTSZN comes, and ALTSZN will come because there's only two paths a market can take: Bitcoin season or altcoin season. So when altcoin season comes, ALTSZN will be the ticker everybody thinks about, right? So it basically is completely synonymous with the broadest keyword in cryptocurrency when the market pivots from Bitcoin to altcoins. And as a result of that, everyone gets it. Look, ALTSZN, everybody gets it. It just makes complete sense, right? So why now? Why do I think that now is the time for ALTSZN? Well, basically because right now you've got us coming out of greed. So we were last month in extreme fear, last week in fear, yesterday in getting closer to neutral, and now we are in neutral, right? So you can see that we are trending towards altcoin season. We are trending towards people getting back into greed. Nobody buys in fear, and that's why I believe, again, this is a very, very good time because the market is now starting to pivot into bull times. And as I said already, when ALTSZN comes, ALTSZN, the token, therefore matches with the energy of the market at that time. And it's going to lead to interest, knowledge, visibility, and people actually getting into it, and there being some bigger community. All right, so retail is returning. Something that we have not had really for a long, long time is retail getting into the market. All right, so retail, we've missed them, right? We've missed them. What we have had is we have had institutions. Has been very much the most institutional bull market that we had, kind of, right? It's one of the most institutional times that we've had, and that's why everything's got wrecked, right? Because the institutions are in. Some retail, the small amount of new retail that come in, they buy these coins, institutions wreck them, and then the new retail leave crypto straight away, right? So this gives them the perfect alternative to all these coins that are essentially wrecking them on a day-to-day basis. So it's perfect timing. In my personal opinion, the ALTSZN term is now stronger than it ever was. It's not just a term bandied about by big YouTubers, big X accounts. Now it is a meme coin, it is a community, and that community are dominating the ALTSZN token, the ALTSZN term on X. And that is where you can see the most promising future for ALTSZN. Right? So, ALTSZN, as I said, Alex Becker, he's always going to be saying ALTSZN. I just know he is because he has essentially created the meme, ALTSZN. And I do genuinely believe that ALTSZN is like it was created by Alex Becker, to be honest. I don't think it was. But ALTSZN gives the appearance of having been created by Alex Becker because he essentially created ALTSZN as a term because he says it all the time, right? The amount of his followers, of which he has got 1.3 million followers, the amount of times he says ALTSZN, he says stuff like, money's coming back into the market, it's ALTSZN, right? And then people say to him in a tweet response, they will say, this is the 1,000th time you said ALTSZN. ALTSZN ain't coming. And it just gives greater memeability to ALTSZN. Like, it really is, no matter how you dice it, perfect, right? Perfect. A perfect ALTSZN narrative coin. And I rest my case. I rest my bull case. Right, now let's have a look and see what you guys are saying. And look, the alt market, if you actually remove the Bitcoin market cap from the total market cap of the crypto market, So 2.57 trillion. So if you get rid of Bitcoin, which is 1.5 trillion, then what you've got is a 1.2 trillion market. Right? A 1.2 trillion market that is the altcoin market. And basically and that's on CoinMarketCap. That's not CoinMarketCap only lists. I don't even know how many it lists anymore. I think that CoinMarketCap only lists about 18,000. Let me have a look. Number of cryptocurrencies. Oh, wow. They've got 49.5 million cryptos tracked. That's actually insane. That's actually insane. Last 30 days, 2 million cryptos. I have never even seen this before. But that's excellent. So there is your perfect picture of why the crypto market is how it is right now. You know, the ability to have to market in a viral sense has never been more important. And something that alts are very bad at doing, particularly ones in the top 100, is they're very bad at marketing. And that gives a brilliant opportunity for the coins that are great at marketing, great at community building. A coin like ALTSZN, which as you can see is having some fantastic memes being shared all over X. You can see the opportunity is being grasped by ALTSZN, which is an opportunity that, unfortunately, altcoins in the main, technological altcoins in particular, are very bad at. Right? So it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity missed for them and an opportunity grasped for ALTSZN. Right, okay, let's have a look and see what you guys are saying. I want to see what you guys have to say in the comments because I am actually very, very curious as to what you guys say. We need a Doge video. I fear people flipping Doge for ALTSZN. I haven't seen that myself. I personally think that ALTSZN at this point is just in its price discovery phase. Right? Now, yes, there are going to be people, and you can't deny that that's what people are going to do because, you know, and look, Doge is at a great market cap at this point, 2.6 million. Like, yes, it has gone down probably, you know, just less than 1 million in the last week, right? Which, considering the liquidity of the coin, that's not actually that bad. I don't fear people are selling Doge for ALTSZN. I think that some people that have money invested in Doge, and a lot of money invested, that don't have any extra allocated money to put into another meme coin, are selling because they have to, right? But I don't see any long-term damage being done to Doge. Since we didn't get an ALTSZN, can we make our own with ALTSZN? Well, we are. Look, ALTSZN, unlike pretty much most coins. Wait, is ALTSZN not even... Right, okay, ALTSZN is not even on here. So let's add that. ASAFP. Yeah, ALTSZN is actually performing amongst the top, right? It's creating its own ALTSZN at this point. So, yeah. Will there be burns for the ALTSZN token? Yeah, over time, there is going to be a whole concoction of things designed to create scarcity of the token and designed to increase designed to increase the appeal of the token. You know, people are going to want to buy it. I've just kind of mentioned what SafeMoon did, and I'm not gonna put out any clues at this point. I've already given some clues, but I'm not going to give out any clues as to what ALTSZN's team are going to do. All I can say is watch this space, right? Because they are going to be adding mechanisms that allow for value to come into the ALTSZN ecosystem, just like with what happened with SafeMoon. But that's for them to do. Becca secretly using fake name. I agree. Alex, I know you're here. I know you're here. Who's got the bigger muscles? Yeah, I think that people need to be a little bit, you know, less scared about what I'm not talking about, okay? So what you've got here are, in essence, most... I could take some of these off, like Leah. Are what I'm going to be talking... And no, Colin can stay. But these are coins I am largely going to... Actually, I really do need to update this. You know, Meow needs to come off here. I kind of left it on here to give them a chance and to kind of have a look and see, you know, if they're gonna revive it. But I haven't seen anything so far. But most coins, most coins that I have said I support and love, I'm going to be talking about over time. So you don't need to worry. What about Doge? What about Doge? So yeah. Hi Legend, Doge doesn't deserve where it is. Will the team be making any new improvements? Well, what you've got to acknowledge with Doge is that we are in... I mean, you can see it right here. Right? You can see that right now, market is not responding to any kind of bullish news. It wouldn't matter if any of these coins had anything going for it. The market's not responding, right? So it would be a big, it would be a lead balloon for, you know, Doge to bring out their update, you know, their facelift. It would be a big wasted opportunity for them to do that while the market is not in a confirmed alt season. Right? When the market comes into an alt season, a meme season, then we will see that is the time to launch price catalysts. But not at this point, right? So that's why Doge isn't going to do anything right now. And really, you've just got to be patient. With not only with Doge, but also with various other meme coins right now. You just got to be patient and wait. Because the time will come. You know, all of these, not all of these coins, but most of these coins will have their day. You know, PAX, I think, is a fantastic buy opportunity right now. I'd probably consider buying it myself. But, you know, you've got to acknowledge that the appetite is for what's new, what's exciting, what hasn't had any sort of price discovery. And so, therefore, the excitement is going to be incredibly high for alt season, right? And that is just how it is. Bear with me 1 second. This is I'm just looking at these questions. Some of them may be longer. No. How many other crypto YouTubers are sharing this kind of quality content, helping the people out? That's right, none. You're right, GMJ Will. You are absolutely right. No one is right now. Right? They're all like, oh, what's Bitcoin doing? You know, is Bitcoin going to go to 60k? Is it going to fill the CME gap? Blah, blah, blah. Like, no one gives a shit about any of that stuff. That stuff's boring. It's just so boring. I personally hate looking at it. I'm bored stiff of people trying to predict where Bitcoin's going to go. Is it going to go to 30 to 40k? Have we hit the bottom? Blah, blah, blah. Don't give a shit. None of this stuff is interesting, right? But, yeah, everybody is trying. They're trying to grow. They're trying to be seen as some kind of, you know, I don't know, knowledgeable person, a sage. But all they're sounding is stupid. Because most of them are going to be wrong anyway. So it doesn't fucking matter, right? It doesn't matter what's going to happen with Bitcoin. Because even if you were to put $1,000 into Bitcoin today, what's going to happen? Oh, it's going to turn into 2,000 in about 6 months. Oh, it's going to turn into 5,000 in about 5 years. What is the point of that? Like, honestly, it's just boring. It is boring, mate, to be honest. Okay, I think that is it. Unless anybody has got some other profound questions or deep questions. Basically, what it boils down to is alt season has never ever, as a keyword, been more relevant as it has from 2025 and beyond. Now people are getting it. Look, it has had a long history of not being known at all. And then it kind of came to prominence when we had Donald Trump coming in, and then we had the likes of Alex Becker shouting alt season, alt season, alt season, and now look, now the alt season term has become a meme. It's become highly relevant, and all you need is the next season where it goes to 100. That's all you need, right? And then you're gonna see this thing pump like crazy. Right, okay, people. In the absence of any more questions, I shall be making a move, but I hope that this has made the case for you to understand. Okay, so there we go. Screenshot it. This is your infographic to understand the breadth of the alt season narrative, the bull case, why this is very strong. And if I was to list all the reasons why this is very strong, then I would need another 11 pages. So this is just a full highlight for you, but this isn't everything. Like, this is just kind of the key points as to why alt season is incredibly a once in a lifetime meme coin. Because as you can see, with how it's dominating alt season as a keyword on X, it owns the narrative. It captures the movement. It captures the hype associated with alt season. All right, so alt season is an indicator of alts. It's an indicator of bullish times in alts. It's also a cope mechanism in bearish time for alts. It is essentially the new Ethereum, right? Because this is the indicator of alts versus the Bitcoin indicator. So people, I love you very much. Thank you all for turning up. I appreciate your attendance on this Monday, and I will see you next time. But in the meantime, it's alt season, up only, parabolic, hold and get rich. You're awesome, and I'll see you next time. It is lights out, all out.